Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Facing the Music with Terry Oldfield. My name is John Valdivia, producer at idesound.com. This series, curated from candid conversations, will introduce a return to the mystery and wonder of existence, as well as our necessity to confront ourselves. We shall also feature selected pieces from Terry's extensive musical anthology. In this episode, Terry delves into the topics of happiness, money, jobs, houses and relationships, questioning the true sources of joy in life. He stresses that happiness is found within and that the spiritual path does not really lead anywhere. Welcome to Facing the Music.
You see so many people who are rich, not many, I don't know a lot, but I've seen them, and it didn't make them happy. And I've seen people that have had wonderful relationships, and unless they're willing to face the music in that relationship, they won't be happy. They can't move forward with it, so they're stuck in the romantic part of relationships and have to keep changing partners. And that's the same with houses. You know, you get a nice big house, you go into the house and you feel the same, so you think, oh shit, it didn't work, I'll get a bigger one. Or I think I'll go for a smaller one. Or I'm going to go to Africa, do charity work. You won't find happiness out there, so you have to do it though. The people that walk on the path have to discover that it doesn't lead anywhere. That you can't avoid walking on the path. But have you walked the path enough? That's the question. Yeah, are you exhausted enough? I mean, if you start to ask that question, is there really something I think out there that will make me happy? That's a very, very powerful question. And then you write it down, then you go for it. Then you get it and see if it does it for you. What I find is that it's the simple things that I hadn't really noticed in the past that really give me most enjoyment in life. Like, as I said, I was sitting on the bench this morning. It was still dark and there was complete stillness, and suddenly I could hear a wind coming up the valley, and I could hear the trees in the distance, like a bass note rising, you know, and it came closer. And then I was sitting next to, we've got these very tall bamboos, and suddenly they started crackling very, very slightly as the wind arrived. Crackle, 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 and then the wind came and went whoosh. Those are the moments that I was missing when I was sitting cross-legged with my hands in the correct position, my eyes closed, watching the thoughts, trying to stop the mind, you know, all that sort of stuff. We live in this beautiful world and we're just not present to appreciate the little things. Like Saray and I, we walk around the garden every morning, and we see little things like insects, and you become much more present when you start to turn the gaze within, because all the wastage of energy and the maelstrom of thinking comes to a stop. It slows down, and the more you commit to this stopping of the process of recreation of past and projection into the future, once you commit to that and incorporate that into your daily life, But it's got to be started now, you see. You can't say, I'm going to do this. I'm really going to do this. It's now. Are we aware now? If it's not happening now, it's always going to be put off, and that's one of the biggest tricks that the mechanics comes up with, that, yeah, sure, I really get it. I'm going to go for that. Yeah. Are we ready? Because I've just got to do something first. That present moment, that constant letting go of that process of projection is death to the sense of separation, because you cannot be separate from the present moment. Once you are immersed in the present moment, which means you have to be prepared to drop all the whole shebang. You are essentially, to the mind that thought it was a character, you are stepping into the void, into death, into the chasm, into the abyss. It's no different to that. And so you have to be prepared. Have I had enough to start with? Have I had enough of this repetition and this constant maelstrom of thinking? Or do I want to carry on? Do I want to keep trying? Once you say, right, okay, I'm going to go out into the desert and sit for 40 days, or I'm going to sit under this Bodhi tree and nothing's going to move me, and nothing is going to move me from this spot. You don't have to go and sit under a Bodhi tree, or you don't have to go out into the desert, but you have to start now being willing to just go through the emptiness. The emptiness. The emptiness is constantly letting go. Letting go, letting go, letting go. That's what I mean. Join the ashram for a year, or whatever, whatever that satisfies the mind. Go into that practice. The practice of emptying. Constant emptying. It's not one thing that you do. You don't just go, okay, I'm going to empty now. Oh. Yeah, well, you could say, okay, well, I'll try emptying every day at 9 o'clock, all right? See, I'll make a start. Then I'll increase that to twice a day, then we'll see how we go then, yeah? This is all or nothing. You either stop or you just pretend that you're stopping. It's a total commitment. You can't. There's no half measures. It's not even 99.9999999%. They're still holding on. It's nothing less than the worst thing that can possibly happen. I'm going through this all the time. You see, I'm living in it. But it's not scaring me anymore. I don't have any resistance to it. It's not fantastic. It's not wonderful. It's not anything other than what it is. Does that make sense? It's an ongoing thing. It's never, the attitude that moves you through is that it's never going to be any different. Because as soon as you say, well, eventually I'll come to the end of this. No, there is no end, because that end is a projection. Because any idea we have of what bliss is, or what, freedom is, or awakening is only coming from the hard drive. It's nothing to do with what anything that the mind can come up with.
Thank you for listening to Facing the Music. We want to extend our gratitude for your company today. For enriching context and further insight into our series, do visit ithesound.com/Terry. We have provided all the pertinent information in the description. For those interested in delving deeper into Terry's compelling journey, his biography, Only Now, is readily available on all major online bookstores. It is an intimate and insightful account of a life dedicated to music and spiritual awakening. Lastly, please visit terryoldfield.com to stay up to date with Terry's latest endeavors. Once again, thank you for your time. This is John Valdivia from ithesound.com.